So I mentioned something 2 updates ago about blade canceling and attacking faster with pincer blades. First of all, with dodge moves, you can dodge in 4 directions. The forward direction is the fastest dodge you have. You also can't blade cancel or attack out of the other 3 dodges. You see how he kind of slides to a close there? I am mashing buttons and I can't do anything until he comes to a full stop. With the forward dodge, however, you can blade cancel out of it at any time, which comes in really handy, not only for attack speed, but for defense. Because you can use the forward dodge's invincibility frames and then cancel out of it without having to do the attack afterwards. You can also use it as a way to give you a guaranteed way, because if you're dodging the other 3 ways, you might not be able to parry right out of it, unless you're at the very tail end of it. But you can use forward canceling to attack faster with the pincer blades. This, of course, means you only be able to do the first attack, because canceling out of a dodge does not carry your combo like dodge offset does. But you can use it to do some neat stuff. Blade canceling, you guys. So, we're going to do some more VR missions. This is VR Mission 7, which was meant to be with the last batch of VR missions, but it recorded weird. But I'm pretty sure this VR mission is on very hard mode, because all the enemies, as you could see, want to kill me all at once. Of course, just like with all of your other VR missions, you don't have any of your health upgrades or your blade mode upgrades, which makes doing executions and cutting dudes in half a lot harder, because you constantly have to refill your blade meter. We got a Von Jerica here, so of course we want to bait it into an execution. In VR missions, if you really need to regenerate lots of blade mode fast, you want to use the staff, because it hits multiple dudes and it hits so fast that you suck up electrolytes much quicker than with the sword. Again, since we're only going for time, we don't want to Zandatsu anybody, because that uses up a bunch of our time. You just want to cut their heads off. Next wave. 3 of these dudes all attacking at once. Would have been nice if I would have remembered that trick I mentioned where you can instantly daze guys by hitting their blade when they are blocking, because these guys get pretty block happy. Like normally on hard mode and below, you've seen that these guys get wrecked by the staff. They just can't block it at all. But on very hard and up, they can very easily block multiple attacks with the staff. But that also means you can bait them into blocking, and then as long as you've got enough blade mode, just go into blade mode and hit their blades and dizzy all of them. Also, it's nice at the very first swing of the pincer blades, aside from being able to launch dudes, it also still has its hitbox active when Ryan swings it like over his shoulders, so the very tail end of the attack can hit people behind you. And wave number 4, I think? Yeah. Nothing but dwarf geckos. But you want to kill them as fast as possible, use a staff, blade cancel out of the first 2 hits of your combo, and just repeatedly do that. Because the first 2 hits of the staff's normal combo are the fastest hits the staff has. And now that we've taken out most of the dwarf geckos, we got the final wave, which is 2 normal geckos. They're being kind of jerks. Thankfully, fighting geckos with pincer blades isn't as dangerous as it could be, because when you're charging up, you get that super armor. Like here, I get hit and I barely take any damage. I took like maybe 1% at the most. Oh, a little bit of an animation bug here. They collide with you and you parry them, but they aren't parallel with you. It gets a little weird. not my best time for this mission. The very first time I recorded this, and it ended up being all weird. I did it fairly faster. Like good 10 seconds? 20 seconds? 20 seconds, man. But yeah, if you want to get first place for this mission, you gotta beat it in 4 minutes or less. So there are some missions that we're getting very close to that people really don't like because they are so hard. This is one of my least favorite missions, not because of its difficulty. It is on very hard mode, though. Not because of its difficulty, it's just kind of annoying to play because you have all these sliders and you need to take them all out. The easiest way to take a slider out is just to cut them apart in blade mode, but since we have no upgrades, we have to constantly refill our meter so we can get into slow blade mode. Easiest way to get to them is with Red Hot Kick. You can also use the Sai, but the Sai isn't as fast as Red Hot Kick, although it does have a greater range. But it's a lot safer to use Red Hot Kick. Also, the other problem is, because we can't bring our strength upgrades in here, it takes too many hits, normal hits, to kill one of these striders. We're honestly just going to skip watching most of this mission because it's just fighting some striders. But there is a second wave where it brings in just a couple more striders, and as 2 hammerheads. The hammerheads aren't too bad, you just need to grab the homing missiles that spawn around the arena and hit them about 2 or 3 times before you can cut them apart. That's it. The time requirement for this mission is pretty lenient. It's just getting through it, really. So we're starting to get into the 4-star difficulty missions now. This is just gotta kill everybody with ninja kill without getting caught. So this is essentially just another little puzzle map, just figuring out the best order to take everybody out so you can do it really fast. Best to take out the guys in the bottom first. By the time you're done with those 2, one of the geckos will drop down here. You can see my best time for this mission. I recorded it once before this. I got 1 minute and 10 seconds and 1 millisecond. For first place, it's 1 minute and 10 seconds. So I literally I missed first place by 1 millisecond, which was really annoying. I had to do this a second time. But yeah. Those other geckos will be right in place once you take out the first 3 enemies. You can kind of use Ninja Run to hop over that pillar and over that guy's head so you can save a couple seconds. And then you want to drop down on this guy from above because otherwise he might have a chance of seeing you, trying to strafe him from the side. Yeah, 1 minute and 10 seconds for first place. Doesn't count if you're over by a millisecond. So we just gotta race to the waypoint really fast. Use this guy, use Red Hot Kick to the side to skip a whole bunch of the level. There are dudes with guns, but there are also some dudes with rocket launchers. Rocket launcher guys like this one here are the worst, mainly because they're placed by points where you need to climb. So what you want to do is, while you're ninja running, is just to slice them once or twice before climbing up, because that will stun them long enough that they probably won't be able to fire their rockets in time. Get first place for this VR mission, you gotta finish it in 30 seconds or less. But we've only got 5 main VR missions left, and the hardest ones are yet to come. There are 2 or 3 very hard ones. I'm glad I recorded one of them ahead of time so I never have to do it again.